authority will administer all of the county and leading to about 170,000 people. But we feel, in fact, that Limerick City, its history, its tradition, and all that goes with that needs to be preserved. And our preservation of that is to ensure, we almost went as far as a directly elected mayor, but we said, let's try that in Dublin first. But in starting in Limerick, we said, as we go to a new authority, can we please have an elected person that is there for at least 5 years, that will in the first instance go out and, I'll use the phrase, sing the praises, ring the praises of the greater Limerick City, and it's 105,000 people. It's 500 years or perhaps 1,000 years of history. And out of that, the county, not just County Limerick, but County Limerick and County Clare will also benefit. So when we're asking for, I think on the one hand, you will have, the key thing is that you would have one executive administration which will bring the many savings and will bring, in fact, hopefully, far better cohesion between where people live. It isn't right anymore that you simply move people from Limerick and move them to the towns and villages around Limerick without thinking of the implications of that, and leaving the local elected representatives and the local communities all involved in how it can be best done. I'm not saying it shouldn't be done. I'm saying it must be done on a far better manner. But that should in no way take from the fact is we need a champion for Limerick City each day, every month, every year. And we're hoping that that champion in the first instance will be somebody that's elected every 5 years, 5 years after 5 years, and who will be out there promoting Limerick City, because the rest of the region will benefit.
Okay, thank you for the question, John. Councillor.
My view, our recommendation is that government accepts it in total, because the difficulty is if you tweak one part of it, then start tweaking all of it, and then the report goes on a shelf, and civil servants being very well accustomed up to leaving things on the shelf, it will then rest on a shelf and we will never see anything done. And our recommendation to government is that we don't have everybody happy, but we think we have people 80% happy or 90% happy, just go with it. And that's the way I think that the minister we talked to and other government ministers, I think that's the way they will do it. But if we want to start debating it, tweaking it, it will be the ideal opportunity for the government department to put it on a shelf and leave it there.
Thank you. Okay. Time for one more question, maybe.
You take down this one, take down that work.
Yes, sorry, one question, Michael Begley, Clare County Council. We estimate that the proposal that includes the area of County Clare accounts for less than 3% of the entire population of the two Limericks and about 1% of the proposed new city area. Denis, in his contribution, I think, gave about similar percentages of his time to the bit of Clare in his contribution. I think it's quite minuscule in the scheme of things, and while he talked about 1,000 years of history, I think he could maybe talk about 1,000 years of geography as well, and respect the River Shannon, which is one of the finest pieces of geography in the country or wider, and allow that boundary to remain the same. Now, Michael Sheehan actually stole a little bit of the questions I was going to ask, which is something similar, that while tweaking in a general area, or in a wide-scale area, might not be desirable. I'd be the first to admit that. But I think there has to be sensible inspection of some of the areas that were included within this, what I would call a very random boundary drawn and I think we should have an opportunity at least to make sense of that.
I don't have any difficulty in certainly be it the elected members or the officials in saying, you know, you draw the line here or there, but Michael, I would like to remind you parts of County Clare are already within Limerick City. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to say is, can we just finish this debate for the next 30 or 40 years, long after we're dead, put a line, almost a green zone, put a line so that Limerick City, what's going to happen next when Clare County Council decide to extend Westbury, to extend Shannon Banks or otherwise, and again come back to Limerick City to service it. It's time we stopped it, you know. My view is it's just wasteful energy. Remember the proposals we had were go to Partine, go to Mealy, go way out into Clare. And we turned down those proposals and we said what we would like to see, we would have liked to see a regional authority, saying what we would like to see is we have moved the boundary. We've taken in two, call it villages or parts of the town, be it Westbury and Shannon Banks, and we have said Limerick University, which is really greenbelt, and we have drawn a line very minimally across into Clare to join up with lines already that are there, which are part of Limerick City, which is Clare soil, but is already part of Limerick City.
Thank you, Dennis. I think with that,